Okay, perfect. Hi, Ciro. Hello, un piacere in Italian. I know you're in Italy, in Milano, but great to host you here on Leaders Got the BS. And so it's such a pleasure. There's so much you've done in your career. I saw you're in Berkeley as well. You did something in Berkeley. I went to Berkeley for a year, but you grew quickly, very fast in your career from associate professor to partner. And I know you do, incredible work in the real estate. You did a lot in litigation and disputes, but in M&As as well. So I'm very curious. I'm very interested to get to know you more and share more with the audience. So the first question is, for people who don't know you, who is Ciro Di Palma?
First of all, hi, Mark. Thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy to join this podcast. Let me be very quick. Well, I'm a lawyer, and of course, I have an academic background as well as a professional background. And I do practice in the real estate and in the M&A areas. So this is my professional profile in a very few words.
Okay, amazing. I love it. Straight to the point. And Ciro, you know, for the audience who don't know you in depth, where do you spend most of your time thinking about at work?
Well, I'm based in Milan, and I spend most of the time in Italy. I would say that more than 50% of my clients are outside of Italy. So, in addition to the obvious remote work and remote meetings, I also travel. Not that much, not as much as I wish, but
Yeah.
I go to London quite frequently and I have relationships and clients in China. So I try to go there every 2 to 3 years. But let's say that, the remote communications help a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't need anymore to travel that much as in the past to meet
Yeah.
clients and colleagues. Let's put it like that. It's much easier.
For sure, it's much easier. And what do you think the most about Hero? Like, what at work? What keeps you thinking? What do you think mostly about?
Well, a part of my commitment is the management of the ongoing activities, which includes the activities that I perform directly and the activities that I do delegate to others in the firm.
Mm,
And this is part of my commitment. The other part is, of course, business development and organization, my prospective business. Because on one side, you need to have a good execution. On the other, you shouldn't forget about business development.
yeah, yeah. I know. I get this a lot from.
Unfortunately, the older you get in the profession,
Yeah.
the more should be the time, at least supposed to be the time that you dedicate to
Business
business.
development. Yeah, I agree. I get this a lot, and there's a good balance there. So, what's the part of your role you feel that it surprises people the most?
Well, probably the highest level of strategy is in the M&A area.
Mm,
I'm specifically thinking about that early stage of the activity when there is no deal, but basically the parties are discuss. In an early stage discussion. At that point, at that stage, a lawyer, I think, can give an added value in
mm.
organizing future activities.
So you mean from the strategy part, the lawyer is very involved in that strategy, and that is surprising. Usually, we think of a lawyer, they come after the strategy, but actually they come win in the strategy and help form the strategy. Amazing. So yeah. And if we go a step deeper and do a zoom in on your workflow, on the workflow, walk us through a normal week for you, your team. Where do you feel work tends to pile up?
Again, I do take very organized notes,
Mm,
most of which through a tool like Remarkable or something like that. And that kind of notes help me in organizing the week and the
mm,
next days.
mm.
So I, let's say, try to keep on track and to be on the top of everything that I do. Then calendar is basically part of my daily screen activity through the phone and through the laptop, and just enables the organization of the week, including the little spaces that you basically reserve for business development.
Mm.
Not to mention that it's a bit sad to say, but also my workouts are on my calendar. I still manage to keep 3-4 times a week for my workouts, and yet I need to the placeholder in my calendar also for that. So I mean,
Yeah.
these little things, I mean, taking organized notes and managing my calendars are basically daily, part of my daily activity.
Mm. That's nice. I like how you put your workouts on the calendar. I have something like this too, where I put it on my calendar as well. It helps. It gives you that reminder when you don't go, so it's
No,
helpful.
basically, the beginning of the week, okay, I need to work out at least 4 times. Let's say that
Yeah.
3 out of 4 times is gym and once is running.
Yeah.
And I try to organize my week accordingly. I'm not saying that I always comply with that, but
Yeah.
most of the time, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. No, no. I think the most productive people, Chiro, organize themselves over calendars. So that's very highly productive and good advice. So that's good. And I hear you like gym. I love it too. I do calisthenics. I tried CrossFit. I did many things, but I really enjoyed there and it gets you the adrenaline going and clear for work. So it's good. Yeah. So what do you feel, what's the kind of task that quietly eats up the time, but nobody is really questioning?
You mean time consuming activity, which
Yeah.
we kind of take for granted. I mean, there are many. I didn't prepare the answer, so it's not going to be organized. But the first thing that
Mm,
comes to my mind is the organization of the video calls,
mm,
especially when many participants are involved.
yeah.
At least in Italy, but I hope that in other countries the situation is different. Very few people use tools such as Calendly.
Mm, mm,
So still we have tons of emails
mm,
asking, are you, I mean, does this slot work for you? Even
yeah.
inside. But I mean, super senior professionals
Yeah. Yeah.
have to waste time on this basically useless activity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's needed, it's necessary, but it looks so useless to waste time on this.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. No, no, I love it, and it resonates a lot.
If you think for a moment about that, Mark, you don't learn anything. You are not doing
Yeah,
any legal research, any legal reasoning, any legal discussion. You don't do business development. You
yeah,
don't meet the associates throughout the firm. So
yeah,
there is no useful interaction and you
yeah,
still waste time on that. I do think that, I mean, very soon, tools such as Copilot or Calendly will be basically commonly available
yeah.
throughout the organization. So uh, I hope this is something that we will not have in the next few years.
Yeah, yeah. So like two co-pilots will chat to each other. You'll say coordinate calendars, and you give access, and they speak. And once they have a good availability, they will just ask you to confirm or just book it directly. So
It
yeah,
looks so obvious, but still, we didn't get there.
yeah, yeah. And when things get busy, what do you feel usually breaks first?
You mean the activities that basically we have to give up?
Yeah, yeah. Like you think about a busy week, you're under pressure. What
Yeah,
usually breaks?
yeah. This is a very easy question. You give up on the business development, which is
Hmm.
which is something that you shouldn't do. Business development can take even 15 minutes a day, but normally you give up on that. Is
Mm,
which is counter productive, but yet you give up on that.
yeah, yeah. I hear you.
I mean, this is
And
very personal.
yeah,
I must confess that I still struggle with that.
yeah.
So sometimes I think, wow, I mean, I could have spent 15 minutes to
Yeah.
send email, which I didn't do,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stupidly enough.
Yeah, yeah. But it's tough, man. It's tough. It's like it's maybe the calendar thing. Maybe it's because the business development, there's creativity, there's humanity. You have to be creative. You have to think of the person. You have to develop relationships. So sometimes when you're under pressure, like you don't have that mental space. So it's a bit harder. I agree. So at some point, did you consider any sort of AI or automation to come as a potential fix to these maybe tough weeks, or to automate something so it gives you more space, something like that?
Well, I use different tools. I would say that part of my activity is now covered by AI. Covered doesn't mean that there is an agent that works for me, but I get some help in making my activity more efficient. I mean, different kinds of activity for a transactional lawyer. I would say that one is document drafting, and
Mm,
I do get some help in document drafting, polishing emails, improving clauses in agreements, simple stuff,
mm,
but I mean, it helps a lot, and
mm, mm.
probably reduces the timing, and sometimes also improves the result.
Yeah.
So polish an email, you could have achieved the same result, but in maybe half an hour, while
Mm,
in 5 minutes. And this is
yeah.
one for document drafting. And documents for me includes emails, formal letters, agreements, memoranda, any legal kind of document. Then there is another pillar, which is
Mm,
document review, most notably the due diligence activity.
yeah.
I'm not anymore directly involved in due diligence because there are associates that normally cover that part of the activity. But I mean, this is something that we do, and AI is progressively helping us a lot. Still, sometimes there is a document review that is not included in a due diligence. Let's say that you get a quick request from a foreign colleague who asks for a description of a target company, including the financials, the constitutional documents. And I have to say that with AI, you can get a quick answer, also elaborate. Of course, you have the responsibility to review that to double check, but you reduce time a lot. So this is the second area in which I do use AI with some degree of success, I guess.
That's amazing.
Third pillar, I would say, is legal research.
Mm,
I have a specific tool which is based on Italian legal sources. It's very reliable. I daily use that kind of tool, and I regret to say that sometimes I would rather use that AI platform than asking an associate.
wow.
Of course, this raises enormous issues
Yeah.
on the legal training and education for the future.
Mm,
I'm not trying to answer those questions. Probably, let's be very practical. The legal trainees, I mean, the younger professionals will adapt their training and education to the new tools, as we
mm,
did with the softwares and
yeah.
stuff like that. So there is
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
probably, I don't want to be overly optimistic, but probably it is less scary than it looks like.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. It's there is some nuance though to the education cycle. For example, Berkeley just released its new policy towards AI, and it's prohibiting, any use of tools when it comes to only tools for research. But it is nuanced. It is nuanced because in universities, for example, they wouldn't teach the students to use these tools. So the students come, they have the foundations, they come out as an associate, and then they start really in the world start to use these tools. So it's also nuanced, but I'm with you. I feel way more optimistic. And I think, of course, if you stretch the optimism to the max and you say AI will be able to do most of work that humans do, then we'll have another philosophical problem. But but we'll get to that this point later. But going back, it sounds like you use AI on three kind of use cases. I think you said drafting, you said due diligence, and the legal research.
Yeah, and of
Correct?
course you already got to the point that I miss one. I miss something very simple like having a personal assistant
Yeah,
with AI.
yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Okay, nice, nice. I like it, man. You're very advanced on so many fronts, so that's great. And in what you've tried already, Chiro, what did you tried this, but what didn't really work the way you hoped for?
Well, for legal research, I didn't have any result until I bought and started using a specific tool. Research is very sensitive, so it is important that the platform is based on specific sources, even limited
Mm,
sources, but better limited than unreliable.
mm. So basically, yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Another important feature is that you need to be able to control to double check immediately the sources.
Do you mind sharing the tool name? I'm not sure what you're referencing, but it sounds like yeah,
Well, we use Claude for not legal research, but let's say document drafting and reviewing. And
yeah,
I personally use Lexroom uh, legal research. Lexroom is an Italian-based platform. They just closed, I guess, around the financing 50 million, which for an Italian
nice.
startup is not bad. We're not in
Yeah,
the Silicon Valley, so
yeah,
not
yeah.
are different.
Yeah. That's great. So you tried something before Lexroom, but it wasn't giving you the references you needed. And when you tried Lexroom, it actually was great and reliable, like you said.
Yeah, for legal research. They also, I mean, it also has some document review and drafting tool, but I don't use that platform for that.
Mm. And looking back, what do you think was missing when you tried to improve or fix this process, or not the research process, but maybe the due diligence one? Like what do you feel was missing when you tried to fix one of them?
Well, I mean, so far, the legal due diligence can have a great support from AI, but still, there is the responsibility, of course, to review and double check. I
Mm,
don't think there is anything missing on that side. I mean, for legal due diligence. As far as I know, I mean, on the basis of what I tried, still AI could help us in the document drafting, but I'm specifically thinking about the layout of documents,
mm,
which for lawyers is kind of essential.
yeah.
I'm sure we will get there, but as far as I know, and I've also spoken to experts, AI struggles to comply with specific instructions and specific prompts
Mm,
to adjust or review a layout. So imagine a very boring lease agreement of 80 pages,
mm,
double colon, Italian and English. The
yeah.
layout was very delicate. I mean, sounds weird, but you know better than me that, I mean, law firms and similar organizations, they have departments, IT departments, maybe in India. And there are, I mean, people working on that for hours to fix
Yeah.
a layout of a document. So it is very strange that AI didn't get there yet, or maybe they did, but I don't
Yeah.
have the right tool.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And for law firms, like the presentation of the document makes a whole difference. I know this because I've been into many of these legal contracts, and maybe one contract, the same contract is drafted differently, will change the meeting dynamic completely. So I get what you mean. But it sounds like Claude has these better features, Shiro, than before. Like ChatGPT
We
was
just
horrible.
asked about that, so I will
Huh?
tell you in a few weeks.
You're still testing. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
we novice so far.
okay, nice. And if you feel that one process ran more smoother, maybe business development, maybe the due diligence, maybe the contract drafting or research, if it ran smoother for you, what would that free your team up to do or you?
Uh, Again, you have more time for
Mm,
things which can be um, legal issues.
Yeah.
Then, normally the legal, let's take the legal research, which is the most obvious activity. Normally, you give the legal answer to the client on the basis of the outcome of the legal research. If
Mm,
you can get that outcome sooner, well, you save a lot of time. You have more time for legal reasoning, and this also encompasses legal strategy in a litigation.
mm,
An activity that is absolutely mandatory and needed can be much quicker. You have more time for value added activities. You can
mm.
discuss with your team. You can have more time for considering the output of the research.
Mm, mm. And if this actually worked, yeah, and this worked for you, what would it look like for you? Just even if you do it in simple terms, like how would your week look better, or how would the company look like differently?
There are amazing papers and conferences on this point.
Mm,
I'm not in the position to reply.
yeah. Thing I remember about the education when I
Yeah,
asked you
going
basically.
back,
Yeah,
to your point on legal education,
yeah.
uh, still we will need to share and to teach to the younger professionals, not only in my field, the principles and the fundamentals of the law. In my case, I could get a perfect prompt to make a
Mm,
surgery, but then I wouldn't be able to assess the result of that prompt. So
mm.
will work as long as the people that manages the AI is in the position to validate the output. This is,
Yeah, understood. And
my
that's
guess. After a couple of years of use and practice.
Yeah, that's a great insight. I really see eye to eye with you on this. And, we're entering like the last part and the last section. So, thinking about everything you've seen, is there a specific workflow, habit, or meeting where leaders should just honestly cut the bull, cut the BS, or cut the bullshit because it looks productive because it really isn't?
Well, what what I perceive as that AI is, at least so far, is isolated within the organization.
Mm,
Perhaps one thing that we still need is the sharing of the AI and the results that AI can bring about.
mm.
Of course, in our engagement letters, there is always a paragraph.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Shiro, that's great. And on a final note, if you could give one piece of advice to leaders dealing with the same issues you've been dealing with, what would it be? Wow. Take advantage, Shiro, is what you've been doing absolutely on all fronts. I'm really glad we had this conversation as a partner in an amazing law firm in Molinari. In Italy, I think you're one of the best that we've spoken to. So really, I thank you for this time and valuable insight, and you're so smart at how you perceive also the future and think about not only now but also what's coming next, and the young, the education, the youth as well. So that I'm sure will be very inspiring to hopefully many young lawyers in Italy, but also all over the world. So thank you. All right, great. Tiro, hope to chat again soon, and we'll end the podcast here. Thank you. Cheers.